Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an operation by the DEA spanning Kentucky and 2 other states results in hundreds facing federal charges. And 40 years after a series of murders, one Breathitt County family is still fighting for what they feel is justice. Plus, anyone traveling to Louisville later today can expect delays as President Trump is stopping by.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 4:59 on Wednesday, August the 21st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Brandon, it's a little bit less humid as it was yesterday, and we should see the less heat as well.
Exactly. Well, at least just a little bit. We tied the record again yesterday at Jackson, got to 95. Bless you, by the way, Will. But yeah, it was another hot one yesterday. It felt like I was swimming home as I went going from my car to the house yesterday. But as we take a look this morning, things are cooler. You see a little bit less rain this morning. It rained for part of the night and the overnight, but now starting to calm down a little bit. Visibility a little bit rough in some areas this morning, so be careful of that. Temperatures, we're seeing basically mid to upper 60s and low 70s, so a little bit of a cooler day this morning, not as humid as Will mentioned. But this afternoon, back to close to 90 as we see daytime highs a little cooler with some scattered chances for showers and storms throughout the day. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. An operation by the DEA spanning 3 states results in hundreds facing federal charges and more than 800 pounds of methamphetamine off the streets. Operation Crystal Mountain spanned across Kentucky, West Virginia, and Tennessee. This is video from part of that bust in Laurel County. DEA agents say they believe all of the meth came from Mexico. While this was focused on meth, they say they also recovered nearly 5.5 pounds of fentanyl.
Anytime you remove this much meth and these many organizations across this region, it's bound to make an impact. We believe that this operation, because it was so intense and that we removed so many organizations and took so much meth and firearms and individuals off the street, we believe this will have a significant impact.
In total, we're 235 arrested on federal charges. Another 140 will also face state-level drug charges. 40 years later, and one Breathitt County family is still fighting for what they feel is justice. We first told you about this family 2 weeks ago. Carew Gene White took the lives of 3 of their loved ones. He was sentenced to death row, but that sentence was never carried out. Now the Department of Advocacy is trying to take back that sentence, claiming White has a mental disability. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to the family of the victims.
Old recordings are all they need to bring the memories back. They still remember their laughs.
His laughter just filled the room.
Now, 40 years later, memories of the music and laughter are all they have.
He'd make everybody, laugh. When he started laughing, I mean, you couldn't stop.
Brian Strong feels much was taken away from him as he was only 5 days old when his great-grandparents were murdered.
He robbed me of memories of them because I would have known them. They would live past what they did.
But now he is part of the fight to keep murderer Carew Gene White on death row.
We leave him on death row. If someone else, any attorneys or anything like that, was to take him off death row, blood would be on their hands and not ours.
In late July, the Attorney General's office called Mary Lou Harold, saying White's lawyer offered them a deal to put White in the prison system with no parole.
He hasn't got the right to offer anything to us. He took 3 of the most precious people ever was from us.
The family met with a lawyer from the Attorney General's office. She said his IQ test scores of below 70 could automatically take him off death row.
Any time that he took, or the state wanted him to take the intellectual disability score, he would decline. He would go, he wouldn't take it, he refused to take it, and that's been going on for years.
The family believes he is just working the system.
If I stayed locked up for 40 years, I could find a way to fail a mental examination, I'm sure.
Wanting to make sure he stays where he was sentenced. In Breathitt County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
The family says they voted no to taking him off of death row, but they do not believe what they say will impact the decision. We tried again to talk to the Attorney General's office, but they never returned our calls. Highway 15 in Hazard was closed for nearly 5 hours yesterday following a deadly crash. Officials say 34-year-old Robbie Robertson collided with 62-year-old Jeannie Gayhart head-on, killing them both. People who lived nearby say the crash made a huge noise, and when they saw it, it was unlike any crash they had ever seen before on this stretch of road.
Well, I see the traffic slowing down. I sat in my window. I said, "The wreck somewhere."
It's just like a big old crash. Like it rattled it. It rattled so hard. It hit so hard. I thought it was a coal truck. That's the reason I came to the bottom of the hill.
Kentucky 15 opened back up just after noon. A burglary left one business in Hazard nearly $10,000 short in inventory. The burglary happened at the AT&T store in the Black Gold Shopping Center. The police got the call close to 2 in the morning Tuesday. When they arrived at the scene, a window was shattered. Hazard Deputy Police Chief James East says the suspect was not there long.
Pretty much snatched and grabbed several iPhones, watches, Samsung phones, and left the business.
Now, the Hazard location is not the only AT&T location police believe the suspect broke into. There is also footage of him at a store in Bristol. If you have any information about the incidents, you are asked to contact the Hazard Police at 606-436-2222. If you plan on being in Louisville today, expect some long delays. The president is coming back to the Bluegrass. During his visit, Republican Governor Matt Bevin is preparing to host the president for a fundraiser. President Trump will also speak at the 75th AMVETS convention while in town. You may remember earlier this month, Vice President Pence visited Clay County. Well, thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, people in one New Hampshire community waited 50 years to open an old time capsule and were surprised by what they found inside.
We're dry for the moment, but more chances for showers and storms are possible today. I'll track them out for you in about 3 minutes.